Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about which shot timing to use to green the most shots and be the most effective as a shooter here in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. Because shooting is tough, especially even with the top cards. Like, shooting can be really tough in this game. Guys like Klay Thompson and Damian Lillard and Kyrie Irving, who are elite level shooters, even with them, it can be tough to shoot consistently sometimes. You do make whites this year, although not at a super high clip. They don't go in very often, but they will go in like 1 out of every 4 or so whites, I would say, is probably the rate on that. But as y'all can see, I'm pretty knocked down with my jump shot right now. Like, Klay Thompson has one of the better jumpers and is one of the better shooters in the game, of course, but if you get the shot timing down, you will green consistently. It's not quite as easy to green as it was last year, it doesn't seem, but it is still pretty easy to green. As y'all can see, I'm strapping them right now. As long as you get your timings down, practice in freestyle, and use the right shot timing for you. And what's right for me may not be right for you, but I think general consensus will agree with me, because general consensus agreed with me last year too. So, and as y'all can see, I am just knocked down with this Klay card. I'm not as knocked down with everybody as I am with Klay. Like, there are some cards that I do struggle to shoot with, but Klay is certainly not one of them. He is absolutely cash money, just like he is in real life. With that being said, let's talk through each of the 4 ones right now. So set point is the one that I use, but jump is your very early. Jump is going to be your fastest jump shot timing. And honestly, I kind of like it. I think as releases get sped up, jump will become a little bit obsolete. It'll become tough to use it. The faster releases get, the more frustrating it is to use a very early shot timing, which I'm sure those of y'all who used that shot timing or even early shot timing last year, realized towards the end of the year was that it was really frustrating using a shot timing that fast. But right now, jump is pretty good. I actually think jump is very good right now, because these releases are decently slow. Like, I wouldn't say Klay has a particularly slow release, but they're still very solid, smooth, kind of sometimes methodical releases. And shooting with jump certainly will work for that. Also, by the way, this is something I should probably make another video on, but for those of you who are watching right now, fading without RT is the way to go. Do not use your right trigger, your right button, bumper, whatever. Don't use that to fade. Right trigger, I'm sorry. Don't use your right trigger to fade. Use just to let go of the right trigger and then fade. The green window is much bigger this year, so that is some useful tip for y'all maybe, but that's off topic. Anyways, as y'all can see, I'm pretty knocked down with Klay, even on this jump timing. Very early is solid right now, but I wouldn't stick with this long term, because you're going to wind up having to change your jump shot timing later in the year in all likelihood to be able to still shoot and green consistently. So for me, as good as jump is right now, and I do think it honestly is very solid, I would not recommend using jump, even though it is really smooth right now. Now, the one that I personally do recommend is going to be set point, which is going to be early. I just think it's the most consistent overall, because it gives you enough time, I still feel, to react to different slowed down jump shots and stuff, which you're not really gonna have quite as much time to react to on very early either. If you get a load up or a slowed down jump shot, you're completely screwed on very early. You might be a little less screwed on early. Let's sub it a different player, because I think I could just shoot with Klay Thompson on anything at this point. This card is ridiculous, but like, I think early is just the most consistent, because it gives you time to adjust. It's still quick, it's still smooth, feels easy to time, and what you're looking for with this set point is when the ball is like set, when he's about to start shooting. So it's a little bit earlier than you might think. Sometimes you might, I don't know, release might feel comfortable for some people, which is late, but for me, I just think it's too long. I think this feels the smoothest, and it definitely is the closest to early from last year. So for me personally, I definitely think set point is going to be the way to go for most of the year, at least, because I think it's smooth. I think it's easy. I think it's knocked down. For me, set point is going to be the choice. I am very consistent shooting with it. Now, push. Push is... It's not bad. It's the equivalent of late, and I would say it feels kind of slow, but it's not horrific. It's not going to be bad with your guys with good jump shots, Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson. I would say guys with slightly slower shots, even like a guy like an Andre Iguodala, who's a pretty good shooter but has a little bit of a slowed down jump shot. Shooting with this type of release, see, I was slightly early right there, and I'm trying to green these, by the way, but gonna see a lot of slightly earlys with slower jump shots on these difficulties, because you do have to hold it down for so long. A guy like Andre Iguodala, a guy like Al Horford, a guy like Chris Webber, you're going to see a lot of slow down. You just got to hold it down pretty darn long to do that. And sometimes it can be tough. I feel like when you're getting contested by a defender, it can be tough to remember to hold down the release as long as you need to. With this type of jump shot timing, you just really do have to hold it down a significantly longer time at times. Like, I am pretty green with it once I get adjusted, but it's definitely an adjustment. And in game, it's often you're getting closed out at. You're not going to have an open spot for super long to shoot the ball. You want to be able to get your release off quickly and feel comfortable getting your release off. And I feel like on a slower timing like this, it really does throw off your timing. And I know I'm shooting with not as good of a shooter now with Iggy, but in general, even with very good shooters, if you have a slower release, it is certainly tougher to shoot on these slower timings. And I think these slower timings are honestly make it very challenging to use these types of cards like Boncaro and Iggy because you have to hold it down so long. And I think, honestly, the next timing, which is your release, is going to be even worse. Like, you just have to hold it down forever. I mean, I held that thing down. It was slightly late, so I held it down long enough, and I greened that one, but I'm holding it down for, feels like 3 seconds, not actually, but a really long time. You're literally holding it till he releases. This just feels really long, and I feel like if I'm getting closed out on by a defender, it's going to make it really hard to be consistent there. And it just feels inconsistent. It feels like I'm holding it down so long. Almost feels like I'm going to mess it up because I've been holding it down so long. Whereas when I come to an earlier shot timing, I just feel smooth because I feel like I could just up and down, smooth out, get a good release on it, and it's just more consistent. It's a little bit quicker. I feel like I can shoot over a defender. I know these don't actually affect the contests that you're getting in game, which if y'all, in case y'all did not know, this does not actually affect the contest that you get in game, what timing you put this on, because otherwise you'd want to put it on the earliest one all the time because you would want the easiest or the least contest. But this does not affect the contest. It just affects when you release the ball to get the shot timing. But for me, I just think a smoother one, it gives you a little bit more confidence. It lets you feel a little bit more confident when it's a little bit quicker and smoother. And obviously a guy like Paulo is not going to be the most amazing shooter anyway, because he only has like a 70-something 3-ball. But as y'all can see, we're greening pretty consistently with Paulo now that we have it on early timing, which I was certainly not when I had it on late and very late, which were that push and release timing. So I definitely think in general, this is going to be your most consistent shot timing, is going to be your set point. I just think it's smooth. I think it's straight up and down. I think it's pretty consistent. Now that I'm back in my rhythm, I'm greening almost everything, even with a guy like Paulo who only has like a 72 3-ball. So he's knocked down. Just got to get your timing right, man. It may something might feel different. Something else may feel better for you. And if that's the case, use it. But for me, I just think the best option is set point. So I want to share that with y'all, give y'all my opinion, hopefully explain to y'all why I did it as well. I know this is a little bit of a long-winded video. I probably repeated myself more than I needed to, but with that being said, I do appreciate y'all for watching. As y'all can see, we are just getting on with Paulo. Now he is knocking everything down. So definitely practice, man. Practice makes perfect this year. You start practicing, you'll get your jump shots down, because greening it's harder this year a little bit. It's not crazy, but it's a little bit harder. You got to get your jumpers down. Practice in freestyle, practice your shot timings, get this game down, and you'll have a lot of success. You can go on unlimited. You'll be able to spray people who are leaving you open, because a lot of these bots can't shoot right now. So that's about all I got to say. That's going to do it for this video. Hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. And I appreciate y'all. Peace.